Hi, I'm Elaine Brewster, and this is Aspects of Energy. Welcome. This is a forum where we talk about ways to raise our energy. And today we have on the wonderful, vivacious, and bouncy Mary Bowser. And boy, where do you live? What state?
I live in Winchester, Virginia.
In Virginia. Mary is a semi-retired professor at a private university, been married 34 years to a radio TV announcer who is a delightful person also, and the mother of 2 adult children. Now, years ago, Mary found something called a wellness home, and she said that it helped her family and changed forever their family's health, their dynamics. And so we are just so curious to know what you want to say about the whole wellness home, Mary. So take it away.
That's true. A friend asked if she could help because she knew that I was having trouble getting out of bed. I'd be more tired in the morning than when I went to sleep. I was taking care of 2 small children, working full-time and overtime. At the university, we were building a graduate program in the evenings. So by the time I got home after class, after, I was exhausted and I couldn't get enough rest. Everything was going downhill, and I knew that something needed to change. And this friend asked me if I was open to different technologies. And I said, why not? You know, she told me about him. She came over, she gave me this thing she called a magnetic massage, which I'd never had. And she shared some of the products. And I was pretty skeptical. And I said, you know, I come from a research institution. I need to see some proof. Now, how do I know this stuff is going to do anything? What is it? You know, you could have just stuck a couple of magnets on a cloth for all I know. You know, it's just, what is it? And she left with me some pieces of research that really showed the kinds of depth of knowledge that this company had and the kinds of things that the technologies that they were using in alternative modalities. And I was open to it. I just had never heard about it. I thought it was pretty strange. I have a PhD, but didn't know a thing about any of this.
Yeah. And
so I said, well, I'll try it out. If it doesn't work, I can sell it on eBay. So at the same time, what she didn't know and what I didn't confess to anybody was that my son was having a lot of difficulties. And a lot of the times he was having rages when he would wake up. And so it was very difficult to get him to school. And I asked for anger management, etc. And they said he's a perfect child. Well, little did I know that he was allergic, severely allergic to the allergy medicine that we had put, the pediatrician and with my consent had put him on. At the point where he was 9 at the time, he started wetting the bed again. He started having these horrible rages and uncontrollable anger. And at the same time, he was walking around, he would be sleepwalking most of the night. And when I got onto this stuff, I just said, oh my gosh, something's got to change, because, you know, the way I'm living my life right now is not good. Every morning was a struggle. And my friend told me, she said, read that little slip of paper that comes with the medicine. And I did. And on there was every instance. There was the incontinence. There was the not being able to sleep. And in a portion of the population, this uncontrollable rage. Well, the other thing I read on there is that they never had tested this drug on anybody younger than 18. They extrapolated the results to 12 years old, but my child was 9 and he had been on this stuff for 2 years. So anyway, I put that stuff that no longer went in my child. And from that point on, I was like, something's got to happen. And I prayed. This friend showed up and said, are you open to other technologies? I said, yes. Put them on my bed, put them on necklaces, insoles. I did the works. And it was like I had just turned a switch off. Everything changed. It was wonderful. My son never had another rage. He never wet the bed again. He was pleasant to deal with in the morning. Our whole lives turned around. As far as myself, I got better sleep. When I got on the mattress, I was like, oh, I was cold. And slept. I really slept. And what I noticed about my kids is they used to be whirligigs, flipping around, and they would be in the bed just like little logs. They didn't move, but they got really good sleep. The other thing I put in was the water. I threw out everything else in the refrigerator. No more drinks. We're only drinking Pymag water. And with that change, that made a whole lot of difference. Simply because apparently there were other allergens that we were consuming, aside from the fact that there probably was sugary drinks and all of that stuff. So just going to just drinking water, sleeping on the sleep system, and living that, having the neck bands on, insoles, and I cut little ones out of bigger size. So I just put their little feet down and traced around them, and I cut little insoles for them, and they wore them in every shoe they had. I think my son still has his first pair that we pretty much wore out. And from that moment on, that wellness home idea of being in a place where you're just totally surrounded by natural energy, and you have a chance every night to rebuild that energy and to restore yourself, that really made such a difference in my life and my kids' lives. They're now, my son's almost 30 and my daughter's in her middle 20s, and they love this stuff. The nutritionals, I didn't, everywhere you look in our house, you're a car seat or you're sitting on something with natural energy. You've got water to drink, or wonderful nutritionals in the closet. There's probably a magnet to stick on it, duct tape, you name it. We're all into it.
Muted, Lane. Lane, you're muted.
Thank you. I usually am not. It sounds like after that initial investment, where you brought those things into your house, then after that, it was pretty easy for you. Like you say, you go to sleep and it was there. You sit on a chair and there's a chair cushion there. Did it seem easy for your lifestyle?
It's absolutely so easy. The other thing I didn't mention is we live in an old house. And so everything in Virginia, if it doesn't mold, it blooms and has pollen. If it doesn't do that, it goes into dust. And so I have seasonal allergies pretty much all year round. And by putting the air system in the different rooms, the room where we sleep, the room where we eat, the room, everywhere except the kitchen and bathroom, I've got air machines. It's just made it so I don't have the allergies anymore. That just took it all away. By drinking the water, jade green zymes, breathing pure air, just good, clean air, taking the mold out or taking whatever out. It's probably still there in the old house, but I'm not breathing it.
Well, it sounds like a house, but a house enhanced.
Very much so.
Like you say, it's your regular house. You didn't have to go and move, but it made it better.
People come over to stay. Over the years, different kids would be spending the night with my kids and, sleep over. To have the cocoon, the little sleeping bags, these are great, and pop in there, and I don't want to get out of this. And having the teenagers who are so used to soda pop saying, well, this water, I just keep wanting more of this water. Is it addictive? It's like, yeah, it is. When you drink something, your body knows what it wants because it's really good water. So, as we were living our lives, these things really enhanced what we were doing. My son got a little carried away. He would make his hockey. He was a goalie on a hockey team. They played roller hockey, and he would make all of his shooters, the other hockey players, take jade green zymes with pie made water before a game. And they did. I mean, their teeth were green and from the green zymes, and but they just thought it was cool. Like, this is how to do things. Of course, they were winning, so anything that he asked, that was good.
Well, that's cute. Do you know, just this morning I was listening to a man for the first time, a yogi named Sadhguru, S-A-D-H, Guru. And he's very, very famous and has a lot of YouTubes on. And he was talking this morning about being part of nature. He said that Americans call this stuff outside our houses dirt. And he said, dirt isn't a great word. Dirt is something that you want to get rid of. It's like trash. But to him, it was soil. And he encouraged walking outside barefoot for an hour every day, particularly before one ate. He said if you did that before you ate, it would help the digestion process. The food would literally digest a different way. And he talked about the beauty of, of having wonderful air and sleeping a lovely sleep. And that was so interesting because he doesn't probably know anything about the wellness home like you're describing, Mary, but he was describing what is good for the body. And, and so, I mean, there are people that live in apartment buildings and they can't go out and garden in the soil. And maybe their schedule doesn't allow them to walk even 10 minutes outside, let alone an hour. But having these things in the home then replicates what other people would be doing, like this Sadhguru, if they were outside.
That's right. That's right. And today I'm traveling. I'm in Kaiser, West Virginia, about 2 hours from my house. And the car seat is in the house, but here in the car, I've got my sport bottle. So I'm staying hydrated, and I'm wearing my power bands, And so I'm able to have, and I'm also have a mag flex, but I'm sitting on that. So there's enough, and my insoles are in my shoes. So there's a way to take that with you, to carry that with you as you travel. And what you're talking about too is just the amazing thing about walking barefoot on the earth. Well, that's wonderful, and we all can do that and be a part of it. And I love to garden. The person I'm working with today can't leave her house, and so having a grounding pad is something that is really important to her, so that she gets that benefit, that same benefit. And that's what I think is so neat about these technologies that you're talking about in a wellness home, is it really can help everybody be more on a healthy and more equal playing field when we're dealing with health situations such as the one we're in now.
I like that, to be on a more equal playing field. This is the grounding pad that Mary was just talking about. It's a nice, generous size, but you can see it's really, really foldable, and it came about after Clint Ober and I guess some other people recognized that grounding was something that the body needed, and that in the rubber-soled shoes, we were not getting enough of this energy from the earth. So this has 20% silver, and it plugs into the grounding part of an outlet. And so this is like a grass. And so since I'm choosing to be inside looking at this Zoom today, then if I put my feet on this, then it's the same as if I were outside with my feet on the grass.
I was explaining to someone just last week how that worked, and I said it's the round hole on the electrical outlet, and she said, "That's the ground?" I said, "Yes, that's connected to the ground wire for your building." And she said, "Well, I always wondered what that did."
I know. I know. Me too. Now, another aspect, and maybe it's a separate one, Mary, that you mentioned in your bio, was that you recognized that this wellness home, the philosophy that this company Nikken has chosen to be healthy in my mind, body, family, society, and finances. The finances isn't a dirty word. The finances really is something that we all need and we all deal with. And the founder of the company knew that. And so he wanted us to have a balance in that as well. Can you explain that in terms of a wellness home or what you've done with it?
Well, as I said, I've been with this company for 20 years, and I never intended to do a business when I started out. That was not in my mind.
Yeah, you have a PhD.
Yeah,
Oh.
I was just trying to fix my family and myself. And my friend said, "Well, you're sending a lot of customers my way. I know you're talking about this." She said, "Wouldn't you like to make that money yourself?" And I thought, well, sure. You know, there's, I don't know any teacher in this country that doesn't want a little extra. And then she explained about having a team and helping others to become financially support themselves, or just have adequate finances. Not even thinking about going beyond that. And I said, well, I know a lot of people that an extra 500 a month would make a difference. And she said, well, you can make that and a lot more. It's just how you build it and what you want to build. And so that's when I became a business owner. And that's when I started learning about building a business. And that is a wonderful part of this company. There's great support, there's training, the kinds of things like Elaine, you and I, are connected across the country.
No.
There's people that are so willing to help other people. It's just the warm embrace that you feel when you come into like-mindedness, and that's expressed in so many ways by so many people. And it's not people who are financially benefiting from anything you do. It's just people that want to help other people. And we know we're all on the same journey, helping people to get working with people, to show them ways that they can have all the things that they want to have. And that's really important.
That's wonderful. I'm wondering if anybody here has some questions for Mary that you would like to unmute and or send in the chat. Maybe if you can't unmute, then you can send it in the chat. I love, Mary, how your story starts with your family, with what was most meaningful to you. And then when you saw that that was helping, then it just naturally broadened out into that other.
Yeah. And I think that's part of being really welcoming within the Nikken family, to see that that's possible and to see how to do that. And it did help me change my goals and broaden the perspective that I had. And it's also kept me going.
Wow.
So
it occurs to me that in October, Nikken is having their annual convention. And I believe that this will be 46 years.
yes.
Nikken started in 1975, and it's a research and development company. And it's one that all of us who are associated with Nikken have come to really respect and trust. They will not put anything on their line that to market that isn't really well researched, and they won't put anything on their line that isn't something that the body really, really, really needs. They put vital things like air, which is on sale this month, and sleep and water, insoles for all of those, as Barbara Bertucci would say, all those reflexology points that are down on the bottom of the feet.
Right. No, it's an amazing company. It really is.
And
my
it's
phone,
one of a
my phone is telling me it's going to give out on me.
All right, we are good. And I'm not, oh no, there's one question in the chat. How was it that you got your spouse to buy in to become a part of promoting the products? Good question.
Yeah. He went on a trip. Let's see, I joined in May, started doing the business in August. And in November, he went on a trip to see his brother, was gone for 4 days, and started complaining about all these aches and pains that he had all throughout his body. And I said, well, what were you doing there with your brother? And, were you lifting, weights or something? And no, just shopping and went to the rate, whatever. And one night back on the sleep system, and he got up and he said, I have to admit it. He said, that sleep system, it took things away so gradually. He didn't realize that he was not feeling all those things that he normally felt. And then he got off of it for 4 days, and he said, oh, I'm feeling old. And just one night back on. And that's what made a difference.
I remember that we take it for granted because it feels so good. You don't creak open in the morning, you just roll out of bed. But every now and then when you go to your child's house, or occasionally a cousin or someone else's house, and you just sleep on a regular bed, you're right, that's when you remember.
That's what, and some people are really sensitive and they can feel the energy immediately, and others, they can't feel it. but over time it works on them and you forget because things slowly, gradually fade away. You know, all of the little, you know, itchy points or crack, you know, whatever. And then, wow, when you take away the magnets and you take away the wonderful comfort that you feel under the blanket, all of that, when you're missing it, you're missing it.
Yeah, you are. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Mary. You know, healthy family, society, body, mind, and finances. Today is your society day, where you're 2 hours away from your home helping, but you've
Right.
also come on this call to help us. And we just appreciate it and appreciate your being on the Hydration Happy Hour. Also, you and your husband, who
Oh,
are
thank
so
you.
clever. And thank you for all that you do for us. And I would hope, I would encourage all of us to share this so that other people can find out, you know, a little bit about a wellness home. And meanwhile, let's all go and find somebody in our life that we can just smile with, and our smile will raise their energy and their smile will raise ours. So have a good day, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Elaine.
Thanks, Mary.